Rick on tour. It's June 2020 and today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to do a cooking video. Us Brits, we all love a good full English breakfast. My favourite part of an English breakfast is a hash brown. And there's not many places now you can go and get an English breakfast and get what I call a good hash brown. I bought quite a few in Aldi, Lidl's, Tesco, you know, the frozen ones that you get in a bag. But they're not very good. They're very starchy. About the best ones you can buy at the moment are the ones that they do at McDonald's. They're quite good actually. They're extra large and they're 89p each. Today I'm going to show you how to do the best hash browns possible. And these hash browns, you can do 5 large hash browns for about less than £1. So let's show you what ingredients we're going to use and let's make some hash browns. So let's get cooking. First of all, we want some bacon potatoes. There we are. We've got those from Aldi. And now we need some flour. Not orangey plain flour, but this is the flour we need. Corn flour. And then we need some oil as well. So not vegetable oil, we need sunflower oil. This is to make the best hash browns out there. Then we need some cheese. Now all the hash browns you buy in the shops do not have cheese in them. I'll explain that a little bit later, why we're putting cheese in. And then we got our peppers. 2 types, we've got ground white pepper and we got coarse black pepper. And then we got some salt. We got potato peeler and we got a shredder as well. Right, first things first, we get some potatoes out of a bag and peel a couple of those. Right, we've peeled the skin off 3 potatoes instead of 2. There's a reason for that. We're going to make as many hash browns as we can with this and then eat some for today, and then what's left over we're going to put in the freezer for another day. So you just got to whip them out, put them in a frying pan, and then you've got ready-made hash browns. Obviously to get the best taste you want them fresh because they're never the same frozen, but they're still good. Right, now we need to shred them. So you need one of these. As you can see, it's very fine on there. There's a reason for that. So let's start shredding this. Right, it's quite straightforward. You just keep shredding. You have to be careful so you don't cut your fingers. And it needs to be very small and fine, as that will become apparent later. Some of these shredders have different sizes on there. Make sure it's a small grate because we want these to turn out so they're nice and fluffy on the inside. They're all shredded now. As you can see, that's what it should look like. Right, before we go to the next stage, let's go and put a plate on a warmer. So warm a nice plate up. Right, let's get back to this shredded potato. Right, what you need now is a pan full of cold water, not hot. That's very important, it's cold. Because what we're going to do now, we're going to extract the starch out of the potatoes. Most of the hash browns that you buy in the shops are just full of starch, including the McDonald's ones. And this is what spoils it. So right, this is what we're going to do now. Just get that there. Just put it in the cold pan. Right, that's in there. Right, what we do now, you just keep squeezing it. And you see all these bubbles here? That's all the starch that's coming out of the potatoes. We're filming today on the Samsung Galaxy S10 phone, believe it or not, as I'm testing it out. We're filming in 4K at 30 frames per second. See that? It's all coming out. This phone has amazing cameras on it, by the way. So this is all you got to do, and that water's cold. But you see all the starch coming out, you see? It's all coming out. That's what we're going to do. So you just do that for a few minutes. All the starches coming to the top there, as you can see. Now we get a second pan now. There we are, we get a dishcloth now, and we place it over the top of the second pan. Just like that. And now we get this one here, and we slowly pour the whole lot in. Like that. Go to that far. Now we drain that water off. That's drained off. You see that there? That's the starch. And there you go. Right, now we're going to put this whole lot in here now. There we go. Right, now what we've got to do is wring it out. Basically, you get your cloth like that. See all that? That's all the starch coming out. Just keep squeezing it until it's all out. Because we don't want that in there because it ruins the taste. Right, there's all the starch that's come out. Doesn't look very nice. Just think you could be eating that. And here's all the potato now. And it's fluffy already. This is what we want when the potatoes being cooked and actually in the hash brown. We want it fluffy, and that's the only way to get it fluffy is to make sure you get the starch out. Right, what we've got to do now, we've got to put a pan on now, warm it up. Right, we want quite a lot of heat on this now. Put some oil in. So don't forget, we're actually going to be using sunflower oil. Don't use vegetable oil. This all makes a difference to the taste. Right, when this pan's really hot, we put some oil in. We're going to produce the most tastiest hash browns you've ever tasted. You won't ever want to buy them again. And it's quite cheap to make as well. Bit of oil in here. You don't want a lot. Just put that amount there. Now we want it on full heat. Pan nice and slowly. It's on full heat at the moment. Well, we're going to turn the heat down a little bit. What you've got to watch is it will burn around the edges, okay? So you have to keep it moving. Just add a little bit more oil. Now there's another way you can do this. You can boil the potatoes in the beginning, but all you do is you do boil all the flavour away, okay? So the best way is to not do that. Just remove the starch and then just lightly fry this up with some oil. And it takes a few minutes at this stage. Keep it separated. This is going to taste absolutely delicious. Keep it moving. The reason why we're frying this up is because we haven't boiled the potatoes in the beginning. So there's a 2-stage process we've got to do in frying these. So yes, it takes about 15-20 minutes to do the perfect hash brown. But if a job's worth doing, it's worth doing properly. Hope you're watching this, Jamie Oliver, how to make perfect hash browns. I've seen you make pancakes, not impressed. But then again, I know a pancake tosser when I see one. Right, look at that. What we don't want it to do is to go brown. You see, it's just changing colour a little bit. That's all we want it to do. Right, now we're going to turn the heat down a little bit more. You have to bear with me, I'm holding the camera on the tripod at the same time. So you start off with high heat, and then you start reducing the heat and keep it separating. The problem with the hash browns you buy in the shops when you cook them, they're hard. They're not fluffy on the inside. Yes, you can get them golden on the outside. But the perfect hash brown is to be golden on the outside and fluffy and succulent and moist on the inside. And you can't get that from the frozen ones out of the shops. I've tried them all. Like I said, the ones in Aldi, Tesco and all those frozen ones, they really just hold so much water. And they don't take the starch out in the beginning. It's left in there. Well, we're taking the actual starch out. Like I said, my favourite one at the moment is, if I'm out, has to be the McDonald's. They are gorgeous. There's a firm up country that actually makes them for McDonald's. And they've got a good name for having good hash browns. But at nearly £1 a time, it starts getting expensive. Right, just let that cook a little bit more there, and we'll give it one more turn. So in the pan, probably 4-5 minutes at the most. Right, that's ready to start turning some of this. You see it's trying to join over. I suppose a few of you got your own ideas on making hash browns. If you've got a good recipe, then please put it in the comments section. There's lots of different ways of doing this, but I find this is absolutely fantastic. Some people put butter in, by the way. Again, that alters the flavour and it stops the inside from being so fluffy. You still get a good hash brown, but it's not my preferred way. The hash browns that you buy in the shops and at McDonald's, none of them have got cheese in it. And what we're going to do, we're going to change the texture a little bit of the hash brown, and we're going to put some grated cheese in it. Right, what we're going to do, we're going to turn that off now. Right, we're going to let that cool down. Now we're going to grate some cheese into a pan. Okay, we don't want a lot of cheese, because we don't want it to taste really cheesy. It's just got to add a little bit of texture to the hash brown. The cheese helps the hash brown stay moist inside and basically makes it fluffy. That's what we need. This is how much we put in there. It's not a lot, but it's just enough. Just shave off a few bits and put in the bottom of a pan.